Okay, so picture this. You're a highly sensitive person. You're sitting in a group. You're trying to participate, but you feel like completely out of whack, out of sync. Like you're not there. It's kind of like an out-of-body experience. Everyone's talking and connecting, but something feels off. You feel off. You feel uncomfortable, awkward. Because guys, this goes beyond overthinking. This is about that deep, uncomfortable feeling like you're not being heard or you don't belong, or maybe your energy is just too much for that space. Maybe you're even walking into these spaces like super confident, but you still feel like awkward and uncomfortable. Maybe you're even really self-aware, but still these group settings leave you feeling dismissed, wondering why you showed up, wondering why showing up as yourself feels so damn hard in group settings. In this episode, we're gonna break that down. Why this happens, what's really going on, and how to stop questioning your voice every time you walk into a group setting. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ginger, and I am a sensitivity coach for HSPs and empaths, and an energy healer. If you are sick and tired of hearing the same mindset advice for sensitive souls, then you are in the right place. Okay, so this week I am starting a brand new series. I am very excited about that. This is gonna run really probably for the next 2 months. So it's gonna be This Happened, Now What? So real life HSP experiences and what actually helps. Your sensitivity gets tested every single day in the real world. And this series is gonna show you what you can do when it does. If you're anything like me, whenever I learned that I was an HSP and an empath, I started reading all the books, reading the blogs, reading all these things, and diving into what could actually help me. And I dove into the very first thing that I thought was going to help me, mindset. And obviously, mindset is going to help, but is only going to take you so far. Most of the advice out there tells you just be confident, set boundaries, shift and change your mindset, breathe. Yes, that is going to help, but it's not going to make actually things stick. It's usually just not enough. So this series is gonna be for those real life experiences that often leaving you question everything, because that's what we do as HSPs, right? We question everything. So today, we are going to talk about something that I know so many of us feel, but often we're afraid to admit it, right? We're afraid because we worry that people are going to see us as weird or awkward or broken, or we're going to feel really seen, like that mask is taken off. So we're going to be talking about what it feels like as a highly sensitive person to exist in group dynamics. Corporate, family, friend settings, those are all group dynamics. And if you're a sensitive soul, I don't even need to explain it. You already know. You know the feeling you get when you're in a group setting. You know it. It's this strange, uncomfortable feeling. But let's talk about why it actually shows up and real tools that you can use and implement today. Okay, look, I could go like full mindset coach on you right now, talking about limiting beliefs and gremlins and maybe the stories that you tell yourself, because I've done all that. I've done a lot of that work, and I do a lot of that work with my clients. And I've watched other coaches say it's all in your mindset. Guys, you can shift your mindset all day long, over and over and over again, and still feel awkward and uncomfortable AF in group spaces. You can feel like you are standing like in your power on the outside, but you go home, you're like, why am I still angry? Why do I feel drained? Why do I feel frustrated? Why? I thought I healed this. I thought like I'm okay. Like, why is this happening? That is because, I cannot express this enough, mindset only works at the conscious level. But what really runs the show, especially for highly sensitive people that vibrate at a completely different frequency than the rest of the people on this planet, is your subconscious mind and healing the energy body. I talk about this often in my videos. We speak in energy. Everything is energy, y'all. So yes, you can heal and do all the mindset work stuff, but if you have not healed the energy components, if you're still feeling those subconscious thoughts, even though on the outside, it looks like you got your things together, like I'm here, I'm ready to go. And I get it because I've done it. This is where for sensitive souls, This is the real work that has to happen to truly heal. Again, you vibrate at a completely different frequency. Everything is energy, y'all. You are experiencing the world completely different than other people. And that's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. But you have to learn how to rein that in. You have to learn how to work with that energy. And that is a huge component of working with that energy when you are in group settings. And mindset work just doesn't touch on this at all. I have done so much mindset work, and I have client after client that comes to see me that has done all the mindset work, but they still wonder why I still feel exhausted, I still feel drained, I still beat myself up over these things, because it's living in your energy body. Sensitive souls just often feel like outsiders in group settings, and it's exhausting. I can't tell you how many times I've interrupted people because like my brain is trying to keep up with the conversation, or it completely blanks out and I'm gonna forget what I say, so I just blurt it out. That happens. In the corporate world, I would know exactly what I want to say, but it would come out all messy whenever I would say it, not the way I meant it. Or whenever I talk, like sometimes people don't listen. Or even in high school when I was a cheerleader, I felt like I never truly fit in. I was supposed to be like the cheerleader. I never felt like I belonged. I just always felt disconnected. I feel like I've tried all kinds of ways to belong, and none of it worked. And I'm not sure if belonging is really what we should be going for. And in friend groups, like I would be labeled and have been labeled as bossy and rude because I'm passionate or outspoken, confident. And yeah, maybe sometimes sometimes I wonder if I'm meant to trigger people here on this planet. Maybe that's what my master number is saying to people, because sometimes I trigger people. And I feel like it's usually very unhealed people that are vibrating at a different frequency than me, that I can feel. I talk about this often in my videos as well. I talked about it last week about the mask, the perfectionism, and the chaos you can feel within people. And that is something that is accentuated in a group setting. So you can feel that collective energy. I mean, I don't mean to trigger people. It's not like out of malice, just things come out of my mouth. And sometimes the truth is really uncomfortable. So these could be stories I'm telling myself, that mindset stuff, but I also realize we are picking up on energy. I am picking up on thoughts and energy of the group. So it could be a story, yes, but it's also energy. And I think many sensitives experience this and often feel invisible, invalidated, deeply, deeply awkward and hurt, because whenever you have these feelings, it goes deep into your body, right? Because again, you're vibrating at a different frequency, y'all. That means you're gonna pick up other things. You're gonna internalize it in a completely different way than what the rest of the population in the world is going to do. This is why I do these videos, so I can make you very well aware that it's not strange, it's not abnormal, it's just how you operate. You operate differently. And that is a superpower if you learn how to utilize that superpower. If you catch me talking about something I don't care about, like, I don't know, cabinets, for example, I will just kind of be quiet. But if you start talking about energy healing and aliens and spirituality, I'm going to light up and I'm going to shine. And I think a lot of highly sensitive people are very connected to their passions. So it can come off as arrogant. It can come off as bossy and come off as really confident because you just know and you're like, this is really what I want to talk about. And people are like, wow, you need to slow your roll. And then you immediately feel judged, right? And you're like, whoa, I should actually be quiet. And then you teach yourself, I should just stay quiet. Oh, I'm really weird. I'm strange in this environment. I should just back it up. And when you're in like corporate settings, speaking up is hard. Family settings, stating your truth is hard. Like if I state something, I can immediately feel my cheeks flush, my nerves tighten, like my throat chakra tightens, and everything in my gut just, And I believe that happens not just from today's experience, your life experience, it's generational. It's past life trauma around being silenced, punished, rejected for speaking up. So even when it is safe to speak up, your body, your energy body doesn't feel safe. Does that make sense? Your ego is telling you that you aren't safe because of something that happened maybe a long time ago in your life, but again, also a past life that could be coming up. Check out my video all about the ego. This will put it into perspective. But again, I don't think it's just because of like today's life, our ego today. It is about things that have happened to us. We were silenced, we were punished in past lives. And a lot of sensitive souls are not new souls. I'd say probably most of them. I mean, obviously I can't say yes or no for sure, but I don't think many of us are new souls on this planet. We've lived many, many, many lives. So of course, whenever you've had something that's happened to you in a past life, it is going to stop your throat chakra from being able to clear it. So mindset work is not going to work for that. It is going to take a combination of things. Combination of healing and the mindset work. Okay, so what is really going on as a sensitive soul going into a group setting? And not just, oh, you're telling yourself a story. I saw this on like a forum or something that somebody was like, you're just going into a story. Again, not taking energy frequency into account whatsoever. So there are a lot of other elements besides just your mindset and just the story you're telling yourself. Yes, there might be a story you're telling yourself, but you're also picking up on other things. So if it's a story, yes, you've got to start working on the story, but you also have to focus on the energy element, the energy body, and figure out what is going on with your throat chakra. So let's talk about what is really going on. First, you are picking up on everyone's energy at once. It is an overload. Every word, everything that they are saying, speaking, doing, you are picking up on. Even before a word is spoken, you may be picking up on things. Your nervous system is tracking tone, expressions, tiny expressions, energy. That is a lot to take on. Second one, you may be in spaces that just don't match your depth. And I'm not meaning that in a mean way. We all know that surface level conversations, the frequency of surface level conversations drive us crazy. So if you're in a group setting of everyone talking at surface level conversations, it's gonna be difficult for you. Don't blame yourself that you are not able to vibe with that group because maybe it just doesn't match with you. The third one, you may be holding subconscious fear from childhood, past lives, being seen, rejected. It is not your conscious level thoughts that really run your life. It is the subconscious. 95% of our life is lived through our subconscious beliefs. So if this was something that happened in the past, if this was something that happened in past lives, don't you think that there is a shit ton of subconscious beliefs that are living in there, causing these dynamics to feel very strange for you? So yes, there's a mindset element of recognizing this, but then again, it's the energy element. You might be holding on to things that need to be released in order for you to finally feel free. Let's talk about your throat chakra. Okay, because this is an energy center that governs your voice, your truth. And I'm pointing here because that's where your throat chakra is. It is your ability to express yourself clearly. And when it's blocked or out of balance, you're gonna feel it in group settings. The throat chakra is all about communication, confidence in what you're saying. If you're not energetically supported here in your throat chakra, it doesn't matter how solid your mindset is, y'all. Your body's going to react. Period of a statement. You might stumble over your words. You're gonna feel anxious, shaky, disconnected, invisible, awkward. That's the energy body. That's your energy speaking for you. Things that maybe you are saying, oh, it doesn't exist, but it does. Especially if you've done the mindset work. You know this for a fact if you've done the mindset work, like me, where I've done so much mindset work and nothing changed until I started doing the energy healing. Here are some energy things to support you and your throat chakra. I want you to do something different. If you've never done anything like this, get out of the box. Because it's gonna require you to do something different. You can continue to do the mindset stuff, but you're still gonna have those blocks. And again, sensitivity, frequency, vibes, all of that stuff, energy body, it matters more for you than it does for somebody who's not sensitive. Wear blue for group settings. It's connected to your throat chakra. Carry some crystals like blue calcite, aquamarine. Carry them like in your pocket and set an intention. Infuse it with an intention before going into group settings and keep it in your pocket. You can even put it in your hand and rub it. You can use essential oils like tea tree, eucalyptus, frankincense, mint. You can put mint leaves in your water. Put essential oils on your wrist and a little bit right here. When you get home from group settings, sip some herbal teas like lemon, honey, chamomile. You want to soothe the throat after a group event because it's a lot. Something you can do is practice neck rolls, like shoulder stretches to release that stuck energy. You're gonna realize after you go to a group event and you leave, you're gonna feel stiff. And that is because of your throat chakra and being blocked. And even though, again, all the mindset stuff you've done, all those subconscious thoughts, that energy, that frequency, it's still living in that energy body. So when you start to move things around, you're like, whoa, I didn't realize maybe I was holding my shoulders back and tensing, and I didn't know that's what I was doing. You can also meditate, sit quietly for a few minutes with a mantra, which is connected to the throat chakra. So you can do that maybe a few times before you go into a group setting, just to get your mind, your body, your energy body ready to take it on. You can visualize a glowing blue light like at your throat chakra, expanding your breath, expanding your voice. You can state affirmations while you're imagining this light. Affirmations like, I hear and speak the truth. My voice is necessary and, is heard. I communicate clearly with authenticity. I express myself with courage and beauty, whatever. Like it doesn't, like whatever feels good. I just kind of came up with that. So, and you can imagine the light around you as you state these affirmations. Choose something that feels good to you. If you feel like you can't think of affirmations, go to ChatGPT. Oh, another affirmation that I really love is I release fear of judgment. When we go into group settings, we beat ourselves up. We judge so much of ourselves of what we said. So I release fear of judgment. And you can imagine again, the light around your throat chakra. Okay, let's talk about some mindset tools now. Because again, it's a collaboration, not just one, both. You can ask yourself, what am I afraid will happen if I speak up? Another thing you can do, you can voice journal what you wish you had said, like on your phone, to release the energy. That's a great collaboration between mindset and energy. This is what I wanted to say. So teaching yourself that it's okay, giving yourself grace, but also releasing the energy of, I'm judging myself right now and I'm overthinking this, and just let it release it. I even like to come up with things that I'm going to say before. So if it's an event that I feel really uncomfortable, maybe I'll think about some topics that I can talk about that maybe aren't about aliens and spirituality and things that other people are like, well, it's a really weird conversation. So, because if you start going down that rabbit hole, I'm going to go down that rabbit hole fast. So you can even come up with things to talk about prior. Those are excellent mindset tools to utilize to prepare yourself for an event. When you're in group settings, obviously, you can take a break as well. Like best excuse, I gotta go to the bathroom, take a little breather, use some of those essential oils, smell it, take it in, really breathe in and breathe out, do it in threes. I really want you to make sure that you're letting go of the judgment you place on yourself after these social situations. Release it through movement. Get outside and do some sprints. Big movement is required for highly sensitive people. As much as you want to do the yoga and the Pilates, and I love that stuff, it is also so good to do big movement to express and release the big movement that's in our body. Because we do hold so many big emotions, also lower frequency emotions. So to be able to move up that emotional scale, so maybe you want to do some energy release practices, you want to do some rituals, things like that. That can be helpful too. So you can do a cord cutting meditation after social events. You can clear your throat chakra with sound, breath, visualization. All of those things work. So do you see it's a collaboration? It's a combination of doing both the things. It is a combination of doing both the energy healing, plus also the mindset stuff. You can't just do one. Not the way you vibrate, not with your frequency. It needs to be both. So yes, the mindset stuff totally works. It helps. But if you're not healing those subconscious stories and the energetic wounds that are underneath, those patterns will just keep playing out. So remember, we live 95% of our life subconsciously. Subconsciously, y'all. So there are things that the conscious mindset stuff is not going to touch at all. You don't need to change who you are, your personality to fit in, to vibe out. You don't need to force yourself or force your voice into spaces that weren't built for it. You just need to start learning how to reclaim your energy. Let your voice rise from a place that feels true. If this hits home, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series. This happened, now what? We're really gonna talk about real life scenarios, real life tools, real healing for highly sensitive souls that's not just mindset, adding a combination of the two. So that way we can really start to heal. Because oftentimes when we just do the mindset work, it feels so heavy. All the things that we need to do, you're like, why is this not working? It could be frustrating. It could be a spiral. I don't want you to spiral anymore at all. So start incorporating the healing plus the mindset. If you're ready to dive a little deeper, grab my Empowered HSP workbook. I've got a free workbook that is super detailed, packed with lots of information to be able to teach you how to recharge, reset your energy, reclaim your energy. Grab that. Also, don't forget, I'm about to release a very powerful healing library. It's like $11.11, y'all. It's gonna have a cord cutting healing meditation, a grounding healing. They're all healing practices that are so good for sensitive souls. So make sure to get on my email list so that way you are one of the first to know when I drop this powerful healing library. It's also gonna include rituals, which I'm really excited about too, because I think most of us have not tried them, and it's super powerful whenever you start to incorporate rituals. So I just want to remind you again, you're not broken. You're just sensitive in a world that has never really taught us what to do with that power. You have a superpower, so let's change that. I'm sending you so much light, love, and beautiful energy. Have a great day, y'all.